to remember that when you say evolution, there are many things you're talking about. You might have the expectation that evolution is just a psychological phenomenon for human beings at this point, but you're evolving all the time. Whenever your body fights off a pathogen or a virus, your body adapts to that. It becomes resistant to that bacteria, that pathogen, that virus. So that way, if it shows up again, it won't be able to make you sick. When you simply learn something new, this causes your mind, your cognition to evolve. And to reference what you have said, playing, enjoying, loving life is never separate from evolution at all. It's what causes it to happen. Because if you're in your house miserable, not having fun, you're certainly not evolving. You're stagnating. You're like a rotting tree if that's how you live. So through play, through joy, through evolution, you, of course, grow and evolve. And look at children. Look at the games that they play. You ever notice that it's cops and robbers protecting or rescuing the princess? They're playing all the time, but their games involve overcoming obstacle and challenge. If you watched a movie that had no drama, that had no conflict, you would be so bored, you would say, please put on another movie. Now, when we say movie, we're not talking about a nature documentary. We're not talking about watching Cosmos. Of course, you don't need drama for that. It's a scientific and artistic exploration of the beauty of nature. But if that's how you lived your whole life, you would just spend every day in the forest. And most of you can't handle that. You can't even sit still for 20 minutes, let alone an hour in the forest. So you crave drama, and do not pretend that you don't. When I say you crave drama, what do I mean? You like change. You like the unexpected. You like the transformation, because that's what keeps it interesting. If you knew everything was just going to be all hunky-dory all the time, and you interacted with only the same people all the time, ate the same foods all the time, and everything felt good, you would pray for suffering. Because at a certain point, you would say, this is getting repetitive. There's not enough diversity. Why do you say this? Because you're on Earth. Earth is the planet of diversity. This is where the infinite potential of the source is made manifest as everything. So this reality is built upon diversity and diverse experiences. That changing from one theme to another, that's a type of drama. An unexpected person coming to you, delivering an unexpected message or synchronicity, that's drama. It's a change in the plot. It mixes it up. It keeps it fresh. So you can live a blissful life while contending with challenge. You can live a blissful, playful life when dealing with things that most people would say are negative, dense, horrible things. And to you, it's light as a feather because that's your attitude. And if you overcome your challenges like that, you can't help but evolve. That's the most evolved way to navigate your challenges. So love, joy, playfulness, this is not outside of evolution. We would advise clean up your definitions of evolution. And if you're suffering and you don't want to learn through suffering, find out why you're suffering. Your suffering's not random. It's not that the universe is just saying, we're going to kick this person's ass. That's not what the universe is saying. Your suffering is never random. Sure, the astrology and the universe will impose certain discordant frequencies at times, but it's you resonating with it. So you must ask yourself, why am I resonating with this? What's wrong in me? Of course, nothing's technically wrong with you. You're perfect. But by your own human standards, you clearly create a difference between right and wrong. If you saw someone driving in the opposite lane on a 2-lane road, you would say they're driving in the wrong lane. And rightfully so, because if they continue that, they could get on a head-on collision. So right and wrong is not a wrong idea. It's kept your society alive. You have the idea of eating the foods that are right for your body. This is right for me. This is my truth. Well, if that's true, then that means, by contrast, there must be wrongs. So find out what in you is wrong. What within you are you holding on to that doesn't serve you, that keeps you tethered to the past? What are you eating that is disrupting your emotions to cause you to suffer so much? Most people are depressed on your planet because they are not exercising and they are eating terrible things and they do not have real relationships with people. If you don't have those three things of healthy food, exercise, and relationships, your life will be harder. Your life will not be as fun. You will be more emotional. You'll be more triggerable. You'll be more prone to stress. So maybe that's what is misaligned. When we say wrong, we're talking about ultimately misalignment. So correct that. Maybe you're not expressing your creativity. Maybe you have a dream you've had as a child that you've never acted upon. Maybe you've had a very deep message you've wanted to share with someone that you have never shared. Find out what is misaligned within you and correct it from a place of playfulness, from a place of love, and you're going to find that your suffering seems to vanish. So the suffering's never random. Don't try to solve your suffering as a means of pushing it away. You must see it as a type of invitation. Don't try to resolve suffering because you don't like suffering. If you attempt to do this, you are going to simply be wrapping yourself in a cloak of resistance, and you're going to be going for a walk in the woods. So don't do that. Instead, see the suffering as a message, a spiritual messenger that actually has your best intention in its heart. And explore it, contemplate it, use visualization, use different meditation techniques, use different forms of creativity, and get busy exploring it, get busy transforming it. And again, if you're doing that from a playful, loving, joyful place, it's going to be a walk in the park. It might take time, it might take repetition, but still, you'll be able to do it. And you'll evolve so quickly. So use love, use playfulness, use joy as the fuel for your evolution, and you'll overcome whatever challenges you need to overcome. And you don't need to be Mr. Perfect, Mrs. Perfect. You're already perfect. You're divine beings in drag, pretending you are these flawed mortals. Sure, there are misalignments in your mortality and how you experience life on earth, but that's the purpose of birthing heaven on earth. If you're just sitting there meditating, but you're not correcting your life, you're not birthing heaven on earth, you're living in a fantasy. You're not even really on earth. You're not even really in heaven. You're in purgatory. And what happens in purgatory? The space in between earth and heaven. Well, in purgatory, there's atonement. It's a place of purification. And that can feel like suffering, having your impurities burned up. So with your spiritual practice, with your vision for your life, build it, create it, take physical action, get obsessed. See yourself as a sculptor. Your life itself is the marble that you are chiseling. And get obsessed with that masterpiece. It's the only thing you have. What else do you have besides that? Any other possession is lesser. Oh, well, I have my job. Oh, well, I have my family. Oh, well, I have my car. All of those things will go. You leave Earth alone. Of course, you are received by spirit family, but you die alone. Even if you're surrounded by people, no one's dying with you, yes? You're the one going through the portal. Therefore, your life, your energy is the most important thing to focus upon. So focus upon it with playful, joyful intelligence. Yes, be childlike, but do not be childish. And what is someone whom is childish? A person who possesses willful ignorance. They're aware of higher options. They're aware of higher practices. They're aware of higher truths, yet they continue to play it small. They continue to resist applying such things. And they live through willful ignorance. That's a childish person. So be childlike. Take the love, take the joy of your youth. Gather that playfulness. Combine it with the intelligence of the adult self, and as a team between you and the inner child, co-create your life to your liking. And do that through playfulness, do that through love, guided by intelligence, and how could you fail? Where is there room for failure in that? There is none. Sure, you might miss the mark a few times, but it's only a failure if you truly call it quits. If you keep aiming, keep refining, you'll get your target. Absolutely.